Rick now continues his ongoing series of videos on the Rickvanman channel. Today it's time to catch up with his latest video log from the allotment.
Well, hi there, this is Rick. I hope everyone's having a great day. Today is Sunday and the weather forecast is supposed to be very good. Unfortunately, it's very windy and the rain keeps coming, so I can't really work on the van today. So I've decided to take a wander down to the allotment, and I've been getting a lot of feedback from some of my allotment videos. First of all, I want to say a big thanks to everybody who has been leaving feedback on my videos. Once again, I do reply to a lot of the comments, but I don't reply to all of them because it's just it's so time intensive. But I do read all the comments I get, and if I do get time, I do try to reply to the ones that need answers. But yeah, I'm on the way to the allotment because it's going to rain again. I would really like to be getting on with this van, but it's just not happening. Plus the fact I ache like crazy, especially my knees. My knees are really giving me some grief at the moment, and I think it's because where I've been stepping in and out of the back of the van over the past few days while I've been doing the woodwork here, it's really taken a toll on my knees because it's quite a big step. We're probably looking at about maybe a 2.5 foot step each time, and I keep I'm in the habit of leaping out and jumping out, and I'm landing on my knees, and it's not doing them any good at all. So I really must remember to include that little green step thing that I've got. Anyway, so one of the feedback ideas I keep getting regarding the allotment is I need to thin out some of those little seedlings that are coming on in the paddling pools. So that's exactly what I'm going to do today. I'm literally going there to thin out my seedlings. Now I don't really like thinning out seedlings because you're basically killing off perfectly good little seedlings, unless of course you can replant them elsewhere. But I've got way too many. You know, in particular my kale is very, very bunched together, and now I know kale does you know, need quite a bit of space to grow, so I need to sort of kill off quite a few of the little seedlings in order to give the, you know, the stronger seedlings a better chance of growing properly. Tunnel, and I'm quite amazed just how my spring onions have have grown in the last couple of days. Obviously these are not spring onions. I have no idea what's going on there, because if these aren't spring onions, which they're not, where are my spring onions? Because I definitely had a packet of spring onions here. So I'm wondering if these seeds genuinely were in the spring onion seed packet and the manufacturer's got it wrong. I don't know. Anyway, as you can see, they've really grown well, and obviously I'm going to need to thin them out. I'm guessing these look like possibly radish. I don't know. But where you've got two very close together, obviously I need to pull the weaker one away to give the stronger one a fighting chance. So here, for example, I've got this one. I don't know what it is. I wonder whether it's worth planting them outside in one of the spare 1 ton bags. See, I'd rather do that than just destroy them, because look, you've got quite a healthy little seedling there, even if I don't know what it is. So I think I'm going to do that. And the same goes for the salad leaves. I'm going to leave alone because they just grow in a big hickledy-pickledy fashion, so they'll be fine. Although saying that, there's large areas where they're not growing, so maybe I could put a few of these seedlings here. There we go, that's alright. That'll give them a fighting chance, because yeah, we've got large areas that aren't being covered by salad leaves, so I'm happy to put a few there. But apparently that my kale has got to be, this is dinosaur kale, and this really does need to be thinned out, and I need to take out the weaker ones too. They're supposed to be like a foot apart, so I'm going to have to be fairly drastic, I think. What I'll probably do is thin out, let me think, I'll thin them out a little bit, and then as they get bigger I'll thin them out more. So that way, you know, what I don't want to do is thin it out so I end up with just like one with nothing around it, and then if that one dies off, then it's a waste. But yeah, I'll be a little bit conservative with my thinning out this first time round, but then I will need to get drastic later on, I think. Right, look at how these potatoes have grown. These have really come on in the last few days, just as the warmer weather's arrived. These are really starting to do okay now, so I'm rather impressed. So I'm going to earth those up as well, I think, today, just get a bit more earth on them. Yeah, alright, I better get on with it, I suppose. There we go, we've thinned all of these out. Those are a few little dead ones there. And what I'm going to do with these, rather than bin them, is I'm going to stick them outside and give them a fighting chance. So I think I'll put those in this first pot here, and we'll go from there. If you look very carefully at those leaves, you'll see they're heart-shaped leaves and little nettle-shaped leaves in the middle coming up. Now, if you look over here at the actual radishes, you will see pretty much the same arrangement. You've got heart-shaped leaves there, with kind of nettle-shaped leaves in the middle, the newer leaves. Therefore, I have determined, I'm pretty much decided that these are radish. So I planted them fairly close together, but you know, evenly spread out, because radish only needs a couple of inches surrounding them just so that they can grow. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they are radish, but obviously we will find out as the season progresses. Right then, let's go and have a look at this kale. Now I know the kale does grow big, so these have obviously, they're not going to grow side by side like this, so I'm going to pull all these out, and once again I'm going to replant some of them. I'm probably not going to be able to replant all of them, but I will replant some of the ones I thin out into those over there, those 1 ton bags. Right, that's taken me ages, and they're still nowhere near as thinned out as they probably will need to end up being. But I shall thin those out a little bit later when they've had a chance to grow a bit more, and then obviously I'll do another cull, and hopefully I can plant stuff outside again. I'm going to plant this lot out here, I think. Makes sense. It seems a shame to make them go to waste. Now the frosts have really made this a nice fine tilth, this soil. They've broken up all the lumps and we've got this lovely usable soil now, so I'm quite impressed with that. Obviously apart from the lumps of glass and stones and things that are in here. Right, I wonder if there's a faster method to planting these. I wonder if I can put it alongside my finger and just push my finger into the ground and like pinch it in. Yeah, that'd be alright. I'll do it that way. Or make a hole with my finger. I was trying to keep my hands clean, but it's hard to do this with gloves on, because the glove you're not as nimble with the gloves. You can't feel anything, so you're sort of fumbling about a lot. Don't know how far apart to plant these. Again, I'll plant them reasonably sort of, you know, a few inches apart, and then obviously if they need thinning out later on, that's fine, I can do that. But if I get some small sweet plants out of them in the meanwhile, that's fine also. Here comes the rain. It's a very relaxing sound, the rain. I quite like listening to the sound of the rain, especially if I'm in the van or inside the polytunnel as well. It's just something very relaxing and calming about it. It's nice. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to find homes for all of those ones that I've thinned out, so they may have to end up on the compost. There's loads of them there. Look. I'm trying to find the biggest ones with the biggest roots on them. I've got this little mat that this is actually insulation for the van, but it's surplus to requirement, but it makes a nice little kneeling mat, or kneeling on mat. Very nice and comfy. Alright, there we go. See, I normally, when I'm filming this sort of thing, I normally speed this sort of thing up, because to me it's probably quite boring to watch, but I've heard people mention before it's quite relaxing to watch as well. So, you know, I guess if you find this stuff boring and it's not sort of, you know, time-lapsed, not sped up, then just flick forward a minute or two and hopefully get onto a more interesting bit. That's the battle with making these videos. It's obviously everybody's got different tastes and what they like to see and what they don't like to see, and for me, trying to strike that balance between you know, sort of not making a video dull but also including the things that people want to see, it's quite a balancing act. Almost done. I don't even know if these will survive with being handled like this. I guess we'll just have to find out. There, I think that's going to do. The rest of that lot can go in the compost. So there we go, we've got radish, well I think is radish, and dinosaur kale. Right, I've also brought some seed with me, and I thought it was about time I started putting these beds to use. I've got 1, 2, 3 that I can use here, and let's have a look and see what we've got. Right, so salad leaves, got those. Fly away carrot. Right, carrot, I wouldn't mind doing some carrots. Now I have got some carrot seed called, if I can find them, I hope they're here. I think they're, yeah, here we go. Sweet Candle. Now this is a brand of carrot that I've been recommended by several of my YouTube friends, and I know they have a lot of success with these things. Now this is an F1 hybrid seed, but they're supposed to grow straight and true, obviously as long as your soil is up to scratch, which mine isn't. It's supposed to be free of stones and things like that. So I might end up with some strange shaped carrots. Let's see if any of these other beds are looking a bit more no, they're all about the same. I was thinking which one's the deepest. I think, looking at them, this one's probably the deeper one out of them, so I'll go with this one. I'll probably spend 5 minutes just having a little dig through this and pulling out any lumps that I can, just to hopefully minimise the amount of bent carrots that I end up with. Right then, last of all, we've got Wild Rocket. Now I've been meaning to get that in the ground for quite a while because I actually really like Rocket, and that's Wild Rocket, that particular one. So I don't know whether it'll be, the strain will be a little bit, or the size will be a little bit smaller, I don't know. But I think I'm going to put that in, actually I can put it in here. And that means all of these beds are now occupied except these two, so I get some Wild Rocket in here. Let's have a little dig around to see. Yeah, that's grand, that is. That soil, it's amazing what the frost does to the soil. Just kind of breaks it up lovely, and you end up with this lovely tilth. That's just fantastic. Okay, popular upright variety of the perennial indented wildleaf rocket. This herb is prized for its flavours in salad. The spiciness of the flavour increases as the plant matures. 2,500 seeds in drills from April to September, staggering sowings. Okay, so if you want a continuous crop you have to plant a few now and a few more later. Okay, full sun, pick the leaves as required, best used fresh, does not bolt as easily as the annual ones. Right, okay, so this is a perennial, it's not an annual. Flowers should be removed to promote full flavour. Okay. Right, let's go plant them. I guess it makes sense to just plant half now and half the bed, and then I'll do the other half in a couple of months' time. Oh, these seeds are tiny, look at those. Just a little tip here that I found works quite well. All of the labels I planted so that they the actual written side is north facing, and that's because if the sun shines on this, it actually it fades the ink. So the sun rises up there and so it goes that way. In fact, I'm going to turn that a little bit more. So yeah, if you keep your labels north facing, hopefully the ink will stay on the label throughout the year and it won't fade. Okay, finally today I've got some cabbage. These things here, I'm going to plant these outside, and I'm going to use that last bed to do it, and then that means all of the beds so far will be planted. There we go, that's the cabbage in place. Now there's only a few in there. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But I suspect a bit later on I'll need to thin those out because obviously the cabbages grow really big. I'll probably only end up with 2 or 3 in here. But in the interim period I may end up with some small cabbages that I can harvest. Right, all that's left to do now is earth up these potatoes. Now for earthing up potatoes, as far as I'm aware, all I've got to do is just add soil to the top of them. I'll do that with this. I shall keep earthing those up as they grow until I can't earth them up anymore because I'll have run out of depth on the paddling pools. Super, there we go. Potatoes earthed up. Somebody please tell me if I'm doing that wrong, but as far as I'm aware that's how you do it. Right then, let's just get rid of that litter. What else have we got here? Spinach. I was hoping I'd get more spinach than that. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. I think perhaps the frosts might have got at it because I did do that quite early. I might have to get some more spinach. And leeks. You know what, these leeks, they seem to be perking up, some of them. Right, time to put the runner bean poles in position, I think. I'll give them a go. Now originally I was going to put them along there, but then it just occurred to me one of the reasons I had them running here last year is because the sun is on them from this direction. That's north, this is south, and while they were there they were casting a shadow over the road. So what I'm going to have to do, obviously you can't plant the same plants in the same place in consecutive years, you need crop rotation, so they need to go somewhere else. So I think I'm going to have to plant them at that side, sort of just along there. I think that makes sense to me, and maybe get a couple of rows. I don't know, I suppose I could plant them that way, but then they'd cast a shadow over that side in the morning and then over this side in the afternoon. So I think it would probably be best to have them side on to the sun and perhaps just plant on one side. Does that make any sense? Although I planted on two sides last year and they did perfectly well. So I think perhaps I'm just overthinking it. I'll just get the poles in where I think they'll do best, and we'll go from there. There we go, all done, and I shan't be planting my runner beans for a little while, but it's done and out of the way now, and it's going to help me to plan ahead. Obviously I've got more of these beds, and I've got a big 6-foot paddling pool I think I'm going to put there, so obviously I'm going to need some soil to fill it up, so I'm going to have to peel this stuff back I think, and then take some of the soil from here, but I should do that on another day. I think I've finished for today. Absolutely exhausted again. That's the only thing with this gardening lark, it really wears you out if you do it in fits and starts like I do. I've left a watering can in here full of water, and that hopefully will acclimatise over the next few days, and then when I come back to do more watering, well obviously depending on the weather, because if the weather's really warm then I have to come back every day just to water everything. But then it'll be nicely acclimatised water rather than shockingly cold stuff from the trough. Now there's still plenty to be done. Like I say, I've got more beds to fill. I've got to do something here as well. These pallets, I've got some ideas regarding some vertical growing walls. What I was going to do, I shall do it in a future video. It probably won't be the next video, but in a future video I'm hoping to turn the pallets into a growing wall where I can grow like herbs and small plants and things vertically. So I'm going to do a bit of experimenting with that. I've got to find a home for the this thing. I'm not going to be using it this year. I don't think there's anything. It should be, yeah, it's all empty and cleaned. I'm not sure, that might end up on eBay or something. I don't know, but yeah, the worm farm I'm just not going to bother with it. To be honest, it's not a great situation for this, because no matter where I put it, it's going to get the wrong kind of temperatures. Not sure what else I can do here really, because we get most of the day we're going to get the shadow from this shed, so it would be nice to have another building there, to be honest, like a little place to have a cup of tea and stuff. I did have 2 sheds at one point, but I actually gave my shed away to Jim over the road there. So talking to Jim. All right, how you doing? Yeah. That was Jim, my allotment neighbour. He's just arrived. He's come to get some purple sprouting broccoli, which is pretty much the only thing that seems to be available on these allotments at the moment. Lost my train of thought now. Where was I? Oh yeah, I'm going to be looking at growing vertical, making some little growing vertical beds with the pallets. I don't know whether I can pull it off or not, whether it'll work, but we shall see. So that is it for the end of this video. Thanks for watching. I hope it wasn't too dull or uninteresting, and wasn't too long. Actually, it might have been quite long, but right, that is it. I'm out of here, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of the day, and I will see you